I want to welcome tonight on the platform, of course, two faces I'm sure the viewers have seen before and love to see on the Rose Corner. With us tonight, we have Ricardo. Good night again, Ricardo. Good to have you on with us tonight. And of course, the talented musician himself, Swelly K, with us tonight. Good night, Swelly K. Let me hear from you, Swelly K. How are you doing? How are things?
Huh? Yes, sir.
I said, how are you doing? How are things?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, good. You seem a little bit different tonight.
Bro, I'm tired, bro.
I can see that. I mean, I can see that. But Swelly K is the professional himself, and he will, no matter where or what time, he's going to show up. He's going to show up to
Yeah.
support. Cause we have always here on the Rose kind of been supporting Swelly K and what he does. And
Mhm.
for those that have been following the journey of Swelly K, he recently dropped a song. I would encourage everybody to check it out. I think the title of that is Pop Lock. So I
Yeah.
encourage everybody to check it out on our social media platforms. You know,
Mhm.
Swelly just share with us, Ricardo and I, and those that are watching. Share with us how has that been going and what's the reception you've been getting.
For like, what exactly? What do you mean? Or what's going? For what exactly?
Yeah, man, how is it going in terms of viewership and any feedback that you've been getting from the latest single?
Um, all right. Is it the thing is, I don't necessarily like, yeah, I think it's too early to really discuss that with a song because to me, the song basically just dropped, right? Like, I don't normally have much to say about that, but as far as that go, yeah, I've been getting positive feedback. Um, the viewership has been okay. In fact, I really didn't really do much advertising for this song. I think this is the first song I did in a while that I didn't really advertise, and it organically I get the feedback our viewership is getting so far. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we like the sound of that. You know, and anything you want to share on that, Ricardo?
I mean, whatever Swelly drops, out there, is always good product. And
Yes.
without a doubt, knowing that this one, he did not do any promotional advertisement on this. And for the feedback he's getting, trust me, probably
Mm.
that is the way to go. Just drop it and let the work speak for itself. And trust me, Swelly, I'm damn proud of you. Just keep
Mhm.
on putting in the good work and let the product speak for itself. Person will
Yeah.
keep coming in and listen to it, viewership go up. Sooner or later we'll see it and hear it on Spotify, iTunes, and all of these things.
Mhm.
Just remember us. That's all I will be saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is it. That is it. We give thanks for what for all
Yes,
it has
yes,
been going. For sure. Um,
yes.
the the industry itself, is one that I consider to be full of talent, you know, and
Yes.
we can see that with the work of Swelly K, very talented workman, and when you watch it and you listen to it, you can see that work was put into it. You know,
Right.
it was not something that was rushed overnight.
Mm.
When you listen to the formulation of the words and how everything just come together, it's a wow. You have to just say wow. I remember on a previous conversation I did say to Swelly K, I think it was a one-on-one discussion, and I said to him, well, I never know that he had this musical thing about him until when he dropped one of the the first big hit. I think it was Spanish Wine. I
Yes.
said this Swelly kid's going places, man. You know, and if he continue to put out excellent work like that,
Yes.
like what he did with Spanish Wine and build upon that, I tell you,
Yes.
the sky's the limit, man. You know,
Yes.
and I know Swelly K to be talented in different areas, but then when he decided to take on the music journey, and I listened to this song, man, I tell you, it was just a different experience.
Yeah.
You know, it was a different experience, man. But sometimes, you know, you say the important thing about it is that if we don't take a moment to analyze oneself, you know, sometimes we don't know the talent that we have. And
That's
Most
true.
definitely.
yes, and that's why it's important for us to explore.
Yes.
And when I say explore, I don't want people to take it any other way. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
explore with one's self is a good thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so when you explore with oneself, you do what I call an introspection, self-introspection.
Yes.
And you see what you're good at, what you're not so good at, you know, and you will even find things that you're good at that you never even really know until you get your hands involved in it, you know, and that's just how life is, you know, within itself. Um, and I just want to just second what Ricardo had said, you know, commend you for the work that you've been putting out, Swelly K. You know, the work speaks for itself, and I know these projects can be costly, you know.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing a project like this, you have, I know that, you know, there is some brainstorming that goes into play. You know, you brainstorm and say, all right, should I spend the funds that I have on this one, or should I wait and, you know, do it for the next one? So I want to just commend you as a second to what Ricardo had mentioned, you know, and the work that you've been putting out, you know, and as Ricardo and I said before, you know, once it's positive and it moved the needle, right support, right, Ricardo?
Definitely. Definitely. The sky is the limit. And you know, Solike, just keep dropping those singles, man. Trust me. Sooner or later you'll be getting that collab, you know, with that artist from China. We sing Yang Yin Yang Gangnam style. And trust me,
Oh, the
that'll
the
be
Gangnam style,
yes,
the one that's
yes.
in Gangnam. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yes, man, that's very good. And we do see future collabs, you know, for Swelly in the future, you know. We don't have what I call, we don't have a crystal ball, but based
Right.
on the scale to where he's going, you know, there's good things in the making, you know.
Right.
As he continues to stay on this path,
Mm-hmm.
he will do well for sure. Yes, um, Ricardo, talk to us a little bit about the things that we have witnessed, we come witness to in terms of what's happening right now with the whole situation. What do you call it now again? That we have been seeing on the news.
I mean, there's so much issues out there, and this word just keeps lingering in my thought from week. The landscape, and I said to myself, I need to do a message surrounding that word. When I check the landscape, what is happening in the land, so much. I don't know where to start. But it's always good to start where the music is. Because in moments like these, you need a good cup of music to just relax and separate the body, you know? And just have that deep relaxation, you know? And I mean, there's so much. I mean, I mean, Tamale gets released. Issue with Spice. The person's uproar about Villain at the university doing him thing for the carnival. I mean, putting on a good show. I mean, Arif Cooper from Fame FM passed away. You know, Trubits went out.
And that was a shock. That was a shock.
For, yes, and for us to see Tammy Chin perform for the last 10 years or more, it is a great feat for know that she could be able to come and give her a tribute. I mean, so there's so much things happening in the landscape, so much things. But I think, you know, moments like these, it's always good to put it in black and white and just put it in a song so we can be able to relax and have a meditation on it. And I think Swelly need to build a song surrounding the landscape. When I check the landscape, yeah, it's a good theme, you know.
You got to write the words and send it to him, man. Do that.
No, man, Swelly don't need our words. But it's a point himself. Yeah, you know, I think Swelly have it pat, you know. It's good when a person can write their own lyrics, you know, give that added dimension in terms of the quality,
right,
and the content of the song. So, and what is happening right now, trust me, it need a quality song for what is happening in the land right now, trust me. Yeah. So much things, Chris. I don't know which one of the subject era you want me and Swelly to jump on and try to resolve the issues right away, but there's so much things.
Yeah, you're so right. There's so much things happening, you know. And one asks the question, how can one stay sane in a chaotic environment that we are living in today's world? And even with this situation with you know, we're going digital, you know, digital currency.
Yeah.
That is one that I see people are not really paying attention to. And I want to draw people's attention to because it's a very serious matter. The fact of the matter is that, you know, the reality that's happening, I think it was Mayweather, the former boxer there. I see he came on an interview a couple of months ago and said that he requested some cash from his bank. And the bank said to him that they could only give him X amount because they don't have enough cash. The bank don't have the physical money, and you know, so that's a problem. That's a problem. When you go to the bank, you can't get your money because the cash is so limited.
Yeah.
And it is a reality that is telling us that it's a transition is taking place. You know, in our before very highs. We want to accept it or not. And people who are not so what you call now tech savvy,
yes,
are opposed to the transition. But then the system is saying, you see, that you get on or you get left behind. And I don't think that is the approach to take. What do you think? What do you think about that, Ricardo?
I mean, there's a big shift happening when it comes down to this digital currency. And it didn't start yesterday. This was in the making for the last 5 years coming. Right. And when you look at what happened early this year with one of the institutions going bankrupt, then you ask yourself the question, should we continue to have faith in the digital currency? But then various governments across the world is using Bitcoin and these digital currency, and they are having it as like a second option in most countries as a way to hold the market and hold certain bonds, you know, and to have that asset, so to speak. And the reason why it is so critical now, I don't know if we heard what is happening between China, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, and India, right, where they're forming this BRICS alliance. Yes. So there's a paradigm shift
Shift.
here. And they're saying that they don't want to use the US currency anymore. It's going to be the Chinese currency, and that's what they're going to trade. So can you imagine Russia, China, Brazil, India,
And South
you
Africa.
know, coming together, and South Africa forming this new alliance of doing trade. Brazil as the country with the agriculture assets. South Africa with the gold and
Mining and
the mining. Then you have India with the technology and the people, in China with the technology and the people as well, and then Russia with the oil. And then look at it.
it's a powerful combination, you know.
You can see the combination
Yeah.
right away. And they're saying that those are the countries who the US has not supported can come on board. So you have like the Mexicans and the Central Americans and one and two of the other Asian countries like North Korea, for example, and some middle or northern Europeans want to come on board. So and don't leave out Iran out of the picture because they want to come on board. And so there's a shift. And with this digital currency, but is who able to play this chess game the best. And the Russians are known for playing chess at the highest level. But so by the time I wonder if the master can be beaten after inventing the game chess. But I don't know what Solike think still, so I just leave it at that.
Any thoughts on the whole digital currency thing?
Well, in terms of the digital currency, right, when it comes to currency, it's really a currency has value and acceptance as much as all right. So a currency has value or is able to be used for transaction depending on the public acceptance and belief in it, right? So the current money we use, which would be um physical money, but I don't even necessarily want to term it as just physical money because a lot of the transactions we do online are via credit card and debit card. So in a sense, the money necessarily physical or what I should use is accepted paper currency. Better me say that now. Our accepted um different international currencies such as the USD or countries, whatever. We recognize those as currencies or monies to be used, right? Digital currency, it's still relatively new compared to those currencies, even though it's been around for a while now. It's still relatively new compared to those currencies. So there's still a level of speculation when it comes to using those currency, even though there's currently some shift in acceptance to it. So, I can't really comment on what should happen or what shouldn't happen. I can only do what everyone else does. I only can observe what the public are, what transpires in the future and now currently.
So you think you think transitioning our economy to digital currency is the way to go?
I can't tell you if it's the way to go. Like,
But I'm asking, what is your is it a good thing in your view or not? Yes or no?
there's no good or bad thing. I have no view. There's no good or bad view for me. To me, it's all just neutral. To me, I'm just an observer, just like you and everyone else. There's no good or bad thing to me. If it turns out that is that we have to go do, it's that we have to go do. If it turns out that it could be a case where we don't necessarily have to do that, where we can have our regular currency and that and work in tandem and whichever you choose to do works. If you can do that way as well, it do work that way as well. So I can't really, I have no qualms about that. I don't have any strong opinions.
All right. Well, thanks for that one, Swelly. Hey, Swelly is always himself on the show. You speak it as how he sees it.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it. So, and some other smaller subject matters. I saw an article recently about record about men failing in the household in today's society, men failing women's expectations. And the question somebody asks is that, are women today expectations too high? Do you think men are failing, or is it the women's expectations are too high? What's your thought on that, Ricardo?
I will answer it by starting off by saying this. You might in a class and the teacher says, can somebody explain, in your opinion, what I think this is? And some person may be afraid to answer because they think the answer will be wrong. And the teacher responds by saying, there's no right or wrong answer because it's your answer.
Right.
So I said that to say, in society today, it would be easy to say that men are failing. It would be very easy to say that, to say men are failing. And the reason why I say it would be easy for say men are failing is because most men, quote unquote, is not doing the traditional stuff that is expected of us. And that is the reason why it would be easy to say that men are failing. Now, the question is this, we must ask ourselves. Is it that we are willing to accept that there are changes happening how men operate these days? Because if we're willing to accept that there are changes how men operate these days, that simply means that we cannot hold to the tradition of how men should operate. And here's why I'm saying it in this context. Because most females, it's not saying their expectation is too high. But the reason why it may seem their expectation is too high is because men are not playing or standing up to what they would expect it to do by most women. So that is the reason why. I mean, let me put it in simpler terms. On one hand, females always ask for equal pay, right?
Right.
Equal pay now. And on the other hand, you hear females saying that men should take care of them. Now, we're not putting in the equation in terms of qualification and all of those tangible things. We're just looking at the tradition. Women are saying that based on what is happening now, we should get equal pay. And at the same time, they're expecting men to take care of a female. Now, look at it now. And even if women should get equal pay with men, they will not want to take care of a man. Because they're going to go right back to the tradition of what the good book speaks of. And that is where the double standard comes in. And that is the reason why I would not say there's a high expectation from females about men and men are losing their standard. Because guess what? If we're saying that there's a high expectation from females and the men are dropping the ball, that simply means that if the man should stand up to the rigorous way they should do things in this society, females will be out there demonstrating with their feminist idea and saying that we are living in this, I don't want to say in this world. You forget the point I'm making. But guess what? We cannot have it two ways.
That is it. We can't have it both ways.
Because trust me, honestly speaking, if you talk to a real female, she will tell us, you what, they like when my man lead. And one hand, you will talk to the next developed females will make it in society, have everything you can think of education-wise, and she will tell her that she is not willing to depend on a man because she works for what she wants.
Right.
And that is where the breakdown comes into because she make it and she's not taking bullshit, then guess what now happen now? she end up with a second face for a man because of compassion and this thing. So in simple language, I'm not saying the expectation of woman is too high, and is that man is just shifting from traditional. So because if man keep on to hold to the traditional stuff, females will not able to willingly accept these traditional stuff in this 21st century. It's going to be mayhem and pandemonium. And I have more to say on it, but I'm saying that, yeah, I'm just letting Swelly K give his input. We're
going to cut it there, and we're going to cut it there. Swelly, your thought on this whole expectation business regarding women. Are men failing in today's society? Is women expectations too high? Who is wrong, who is right?
I generally don't like to answer these questions because
you don't want the ladies watching to attack you?
That has nothing to do with it.
No, you say you don't like to answer these questions. They're sticky questions. Sticky questions.
I will answer for Swelly K. Swelly K don't want to step on the gas, you know.
Step on the gas, Ricardo. Step on the gas.
but guess what? Swelly K is in a good color, you know. So I will just allow the typical saying, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, Swelly K. I leave this one to you.
The reason I don't really like to answer these questions is not because of any gender issues or backlash. I don't really care about that. Me is more of, I'm a man of like facts and figures, right? I don't have the figures to support like either answer on this because really and truly, which society I talk? Are you talking society in general, or are you specifically referring to the Jamaican society? Because you might say there's not a difference. Of course, there's a difference because judging by the stats in Jamaica, there would be different criteria for what men are doing or wouldn't be doing versus the entire society of the world. That's why I say, when I say society, you have to specify. That's the year I say, because even the way you ask the question, that matters too, because which society you talk? Are you talking society in general or just Jamaica? You know what I mean? In terms of feeling, I don't want to get too, it's not that I try to be too hard or specific, but you just know so that it's become a kind of view things very, or should I put, I view things very, very specifically, because that's how you have to do things, you know, because if you just rely upon your opinion or anecdotal evidence, you're not going to really get the full picture of what's going on in the world, you know what I mean? So that's why I said, the next thing too, where you consider feeling, or what you mean by I say if you think men are feeling how? Like, are you referring to financially, status wise, mentally,
yes,
morally?
We kind of touch on some of those, right? Those
yeah, but you have to specify because all of them think they are different factors. All of them they're not necessarily the same thing. You know, you can actually be financially stable, but I feel that other things, maybe moral wise, responsibility wise, and vice versa too. You can be somebody that you're very moral, you have standards, but you're not necessarily financially successful, or some people say. That's why I say, you see, so I talk about there's different nuances, you know, because no person is in a set way. Nothing is in a set way. I'm tend to view life as how much money I have to determine how successful I be. I don't think that's what you were trying to say at all. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I try to show you how complicated an answer like this is. You know, so if I gotta just give a short answer, really and truly, I can't tell you how are we feeling, by what criteria. You know, I can't really tell you. Woman standards, women have always had high standards of men, you know, that are not new, you know. So I can't really tell you if it did too high or not. You know, this is just a question me can't just outright give an answer to. You know, there's too much variables. But go ahead.
But Swelly K, this is where I have to lick the nail for the head, you know. Well, a man like me, that's Swelly K, don't have no bones, you know, so I lick the nail right for the head, you know, left, right, and center.